All right. Thank you so much, Moses. Thank you, Chima. Thank you, Ayadeji. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on a Thursday evening. It's so lovely to have you guys on today's session. My name is Treasure Akirpo, and I am the lead at Tenalytics Business. And I would be anchoring the session before I bring up your facilitator. Okay, so I'm based out of Lagos, Nigeria, but I would also like to get to know each and every one on this call. We are, not up to 20, or not up to 30 people on the call, but I would like to get to know each and every one of you. So it would be nice for you to just drop in the chat your name and where you're joining us from. So, like I mentioned, I'm Treasure. I'm joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. So I'd like to know where Sydney, Sokuma, Basari, Favor, Rashida. I want to know that you are fully present in this session. So please just kindly drop that in the chat, your name and where you're joining us from. Can we have that? Can we have that go in now? Let's have that. Let's have that so that we can kickstart our session and can wrap up pretty quickly. All right. We have some of them coming in. We have over 28 people on this call. I would love to see some more. So Tokuma is joining us from Benue State. Very nice to have you here, Tokuma. We also have Ayoleyi from Lagos State. I'm so sorry if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. You also have Kalu Favor from Calabar. This is a very diverse call. We have Brenda. Brenda is joining us from Kenya. Oh, fantastic. Thank you for joining us today. Onoyo Day is joining us from Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us in today's call. We also have Medina joining us from Zaria, Kaduna. And then we have Isaac joining us from Abuja. So thank you so much. Fantastic. Lovely to have you in today's session and welcome. So now that we've sort of done a little bit of introduction, I can go ahead to start sharing my slides and we can basically kickstart our class for today. So today is the very first edition of our AI series, and it's going to be talking about like automating workflow processes end to end. And a lot of people have been asking questions when it comes to AI this, AI that. So where do I even start with this AI thing as a complete novice? And that's what today's session is going to be about. We're going to show you how to sort of automate an end-to-end process using a particular tool, also how to apply for roles, newly created roles when it comes to AI. And then at the end of the day, we're going to also show you specific jobs that you can also apply to making use of AI. So I'm going to go right ahead to share my screen. So let me know once you can see my screen. So if you can see my screen, please give me a thumbs up. If you can see my screen, give me a thumbs up. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone. So, like I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about the future of operations. So when it comes to operations, I would say it's quite like a repetitive, mundane task. And there's a lot of things that has gotten automated as the years has gone by. So when it comes to operations of 2025, it's so much different from the operations of 2020, 2021, and even as far back as early 2000s. And this is because of the advent of technology. So you as a professional, how are you able to automate your flow going with the trend that is currently happening? I am a project manager, and even in project management, there's a lot of things that has changed so far. We are not only using Jira, Trello, you're not only building your project charter, you're not doing business case. There's a lot more that is going on into that with the advent of AI. And if I remain where I am, I would just still be a project manager, and that would be the start and end of it. But how can I improve to become an AI project manager to get those hot roles? That is where AI comes into play. And that brings us to the conversation we'll be having today. So I am not the facilitator, but the facilitator is coming up pretty soon. But I'm going to do a brief introduction of the organization that is bringing this masterclass to you. So the masterclass is being sponsored by Tenalytics Business, And if this is the first time that you're hearing about Tenalytics or Tenalytics business, please drop, if this is the first time you're hearing about either of those names, drop a 1 in the chat. If you've heard about us before, then drop a 0 in the chat. I very much would appreciate the interaction because it's going to be a very interactive class. So let's have it, let's have it, let's have it. If it's the first time that you're hearing about Tenalytics business, please drop a 1 in the chat. If not, drop a 0. I'm looking forward to the responses. Hi, Rashida. Thank you for joining us from Benin. Fantastic. So Favor said this is the first time. That's a 1. We are over 40 on this call. I am expecting 1,000,000,001 ones. So please, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's keep the energy. Okay. Brenda said this is her first time because she dropped a 1. I'm just going to call you Benga. Benga dropped a 1. Please, we have 40 people. Please, let's keep the energy. Tokuma, Tokuma has heard about Tenalytics business. Fantastic. Great to have you on the call. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Oluwa Feromi 1. Dankat 7. Dankat is an OG. Dankat has been with us since forever. Nice to have you here in today's session. Ninja Beef 1, Isaac 1, Medina 2. Fantastic, fantastic. If this is the first time, welcome. If not, Afone 0. Thank you so much for joining so far. So just to give you a brief intro about Tenalytics business. Okay, Malal Costume 1. So Tenalytics business is majorly aimed at helping individuals to upskill. So we take a lot of training sessions. We help people with getting practical hands-on skills that they would use on their job to land other roles, as well as also monetize their skills. And that's what we do end to end. At the moment, we handle organizations. So we've trained a lot of organizations like Kuda, MTN, Right Foods, quite a number of them. But we also have our open programs that cater towards individuals and helping them get those specific desired roles. And that's what we've been doing for the past over a little 2 years so far. And Tenalytics itself is over 5 years. So we have a lot of courses, majorly like AI courses, data courses, project management, cybersecurity, majorly tech-related courses, because that's what the company is founded on. And we'd like to provide this training end-to-end just to ensure that individuals get the desired learning skills as at when due. So, and that's what we're looking to achieve. So whether it's through our master classes, whether it's through our training session or any of our educational content, we just want to ensure that we get you the right set of skills, and help you get the desired role that you're looking for to upskill or basically just help you with the learning phase. And that's what we do at Tenalytics business. So moving on, the amazing, fantastic facilitator that I'll be taking you for today, he's also a project manager like myself. His name is Moses Joshua. He's a senior agile associate at Tenalytics. So we're not even just bringing you just anybody, because Tenalytics is based out of Canada, and most of our facilitators are very well executed individuals who know their stuff. Okay, so he has half a decade of experience in project management, and he loves dealing with helping people with teams, projects, stakeholders, typical project management stuff. And throughout his career, he has helped train a lot of individuals, over 1,000 individuals, when it comes to learning how to lead teams, learning how to refine processes, and also how to apply the agile methodology. So coming into today's session is going to show you how to automate workflows end to end, from start to finish, as a professional. So Moses, if you're on the call, this is the time where you put on your camera so we can see your handsome face, and I can hand it over to you. Hi, Moses, are you there?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Fantastic. You see your facilitator is here. So I'm going to hand over to Moses. Yes, let's get some reaction, confettis, clapping, welcoming your facilitator today's session. All right, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. Moses, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Fleur. Treasure, that was a great one. Give me a minute. Let me share my screen. All right. So nice to be on the call with everyone today. My name is Moses Joshua, as Treasure earlier said. So for today, we'll be looking at automations, basically how to automate in operations. That's what we're looking at today, right? But before we get started into that, first thing I want us to know is why operation needs a future. And that's the first thing we need to know. Why do we need a future? When we say future, this simply means how do we upskill? How do we go to the next level? We are in the AI world now. Everything is now being done using AI. So how do we go through to the next step? Right. In today's business world, we know that operations have become very complex. More data are everywhere. We now have more systems, more decisions to be made as an in the operations sector, right? And then the customers are not also making it easy at all, right? Customers, their demands are now getting really high demand. They want faster service, they want better quality, and they also want personalized expectation or experience, right? They want it all. Can it be unique to me? That's what they want, right? So a lot of demands are coming in. And the traditional way of doing operations is no longer doing it again, right? Imagine how long it would take you for you after getting feedback. Probably you work in a restaurant or you work in a restaurant and you guys do reservations and you have about 100, 200 people coming in and they are giving feedbacks. And at the end of their meal, you tell them, okay, we'll fill our feedback form. If there's any issues, do you enjoy our meal and all that? And all of them were filling this form. About 100, 200 of them were filling, and you also want to send them message, right? So, okay, to thank them for coming and then all that. How many people do you want to just sit down and start typing and sending message to? And this is why automation is important. So organization needs smarter and more adaptive operational model, right? And that is why we are looking at end-to-end automation. Now, the next thing I want us to do is what? Understanding the end-to-end process automation, right? So in this day and age, it started little by little. At first, there was nothing like automation. Everything was, oh, I work with my hand, right? I do every process by myself. There's nothing like, oh, this task or this software can help me to, to do all these repetitive tasks. There's nothing like that before. But as time goes on, tech now start moving further, right? We now start having situations whereby developers can easily write a code. Okay, oh, if this happens, this should happen, right? So I'm trying to break it down how automation, end-to-end of automation works or how it started. So they started writing code. Oh, if this happens, this should happen. So A, the next page that should come out is for them to for them to put their address, right? When they put in their address, a next page should come out whereby they should be able to make their payments, put in their card details, or do any transfer. If it is transfer they want to do, they do their transfer. And then the next thing, their product enters the road, is being dispatched, and then at the end of the day, it gets to them. When it gets to them, they get a feedback. Oh, how was it? So this is more like process. So when the developers or people that are working in the back end, when they do it, immediately you start the first process, it continues. So there's nobody putting in their hands again, at least until as long as nobody goes beyond that workflow that's been created. So when we say end-to-end automations, we mean creating a connected system where every task flows automatically from one stage to another, like what I just explained now. So every step moves seamlessly. Immediately you click on this button, immediately you make your payments. The next thing your goods is out there. Nobody's putting their hands there. So that's how automation works. And when it gets to you, you show on, probably most of us have used delivery apps before. We know how it works. So that is more about how automation works. Now we know how automation works now. So what's now the difference between this automation and then intelligent automation? How do we move from this normal automation to intelligent automation? You know, one thing about the traditional automation is that it works with fixed rules. As I've said before, when the developers are working, they'll fix the rule. Oh, when this happens, this should happen. When they click on payments, a pop-up page should come out for them to make payments. Right? So if you don't go through that process, there is nothing like the next form coming out. That's how it is. There's a fixed rule. You have to write it with your hands. And if you make error, if you don't know how to write it, you keep reiterating. I remember those times whereby developers will be on a bug and they'll be trying to fix a bug for about a certain amount of hours, right? I'm just talking based on automation now. They'll be fixing bugs for a certain amount of hours because of, they are trying to get it to work. The rule, what they're fixing, they want it to work. They want it to be automated. But now AI has made it easier. Now we now have intelligent automation. All we need to do is just write the prompt. How do you want it to be? So intelligent automation uses AI to learn, to decide, adapt in real time. So nowadays, all we need to do is, type in that prompt. This is what I want to do. Can you do it for me? So before the end of the class, I'll also show us how the automation works. So traditional automation is great at tasks, but fails when something unexpected happens. As I've said before, when something is not relating to what was written, it does not work. There's nothing like, let us see if it can, let it think for himself and say, okay, what other options can there be? There's nothing like that. So intelligent automation goes a step further. And that is why this intelligent automation is now a bit better, a bit advanced than the traditional automation. It uses AI to analyze the data, then make decisions. And after making that decision, it improves over time. So when it gets that data, this is how it is, it stores that information. When something like that happens, probably later in the future, it takes that data and then use it again to work. So it keeps learning the way humans learn. So it doesn't just follow instructions like the normal traditional method, right? It also learns and evolves. It learns and evolves. Now, if most of us use ChatGPT, right? There is a way ChatGPT answers to everyone. It's different, especially when you are signed into ChatGPT. If you are signed into ChatGPT, you tell it, I want you to be answering me in this certain way, probably in a conversational way, or a poetic way, or a professional way. Anytime you type something or you request for you type for a solution or you ask it for something, it will give you in that manner that you've told it to be giving you because it has adapted to what you want. So it produces that information. Unlike traditional means, it is what you type, that's what you will get. It will give you that fixed answer. There's nothing like changing any answer for you. Now, we've talked about the automation and then we've talked about the intelligent automation. Now, why is it important? What are the benefits of it? What are the benefits? Or why do we need to move from our traditional automation to like the AI automation or the AI automation or the modern automation? Firstly, is what it has greater speed and efficiency. So something that would take you to start creating creating automations. Let's link this to this. Let's link this to this. And you can easily just do it with just one prompt. All you need to do after doing the prompt, just make few edits and you're done. You don't need to build any kind of automation from the scratch again. AI is now here to make it a bit faster, more efficient. Next thing is what? It reduces human errors. So the amount of time it will take you to start thinking, what is supposed to be in this automation part to make it more seamless? What else am I missing in this step to make it go smoothly without any human interaction? It helps you to reduce all those errors. It gives you what you need. And if there's any part you don't understand, there is also a platform there. The AI is always there to always assist you. All you need to do is, oh, this part you wrote, I do not understand. Can you expatiate? And it will do that gladly. I'll still show us as we go on. So the next is what? Continuous 247 operation. It's continuing to work. It continues to improve. It continues to improve. So it's always working. So there is except there's no downtime for it. As long as it's evolving, it continues to improve. Right. And then it reduces cost of operation. If you have this, you don't need to start creating the process for automations, the step-by-step process from scratch. You don't need to do that again. Right. It has made it easier. The workload on operation has now reduced. So it made it much more easier. And also it reduces the costs. So integrating or connecting this application to this application to this application, it takes like a lot. But the AI has made it easier that you can easily just do it with just a prompt. And another benefit of this AI automation is what it improves decision making through data insights. As I've earlier said before, as time goes on, it continues to improve. Oh, please, can you answer me in such a way that tell it the way you want it to answer you, and it will do that. It will get that information and it will do that for you. I want you to break this definition down for me in layman's term. It's going to do that for you. Break it down. So it does not have like a fixed response that, oh, this is the response you must get. It learns, it adapts. And lastly, it has higher customer satisfaction. Anybody that has used AI would not want to go back to their modern way of doing operations before. They will not want to go back because they see it's easier. Why would I want to go and start writing automation from scratch when I can easily just use my AI to do that? So that's why a lot of people immediately they start using AI. To go back is pretty much difficult. How many of us can say, "Oh, I don't want to go back to using ChatGPT again"? If you can say, "Oh, I'm not using ChatGPT again," please use the raise hand icon or use put a one there. Put a one in the chat. So everyone would love to use AI because it makes our life easier. Most people now does not want to sit down and say, they're coming up with lots of write-up. Even sometimes you get an email from your boss and you are confused about how to structure your English. Just tell AI, oh, I got this text from my boss and this is what it is. And then you send it, it automatically gives you a reply. So it's easy. Same thing as automation. You tell it, oh, please, can you automate all the step? I want to be able to send emails to those people that fill the feedback form. And it will do that for you. If you still want it to customize each email that it's sending, let it be different from each person, it will still do that. Right. Now, one thing I want us to know today is AI doesn't replace human. It just enhances us. Right? They are not here to like push us away. All we need to do is we should adapt with the system. We should not be in the old system whereby, oh, I want to work it with my hand. Everything is now going advanced. You have to go with the flow. When AI takes over repetitive work, people are now free to think creatively. So that part is now gone from you. You can now, okay, what are the other things I can do? You can now have the time to solve more complex problems that's at hand, other than sitting to be automating doing the same thing over and over and over again, something that you should just put someone there to just be doing. And then the future isn't about human versus machine. That's one thing I also want us to know. It's not about human versus machine. It's about how humans can work with machines. Because that's the age we are going into now. Because lots of people, even now, there are a lot of things that are being built that we don't know about. There are a lot of automated process that we now have now that is making the world a better place. Now, next thing we want to do is we want to try to our scratch, right? Let's automate using Zapier. I'll start from the scratch. So if you want to follow through, just follow through, but I'll just try as much as possible because we're going with time, right? And one thing I want us to know is here at Analytics Business, we are in to help you go through this part. Now I'll share my screen on how I get started. First thing you want to do is you want to go to your Zapier. So I'll open a new tab. I'll open a new tab for us. So here is it. And then I'll search for Zapier. Let's come. So give it a minute to open. All right. So now we have it opened here like this. So this is how the Zapier looks like. But if you haven't opened Zapier before, it will take you like through the process of signing up, right? Where we all know how signing up to a platform is. They'll give you some couple of questions, you answer that, and then you get right into it, right? Okay, so basically, when you open your Zapier, right, it will take you through sign up. You put in your email, connect your email, and then you go through the process. It's just try it on your own. You see it like a seamless process. And when you're done signing up, just try to log in with the email you just used, and then it will take you to this page. This is like the page where to take you to. So you can try that from your end. Now let's go on into it. So this is how Zapier looks like. And what is Zapier used for? It's basically used for automation. It's more like an automation platform. When we talk about automation, it simply means connecting one app to another app to make it seamless. So you don't need to have any human interaction to it. So I'm getting feedback from probably I do a campaign on my Facebook or my social media, right? I do a campaign there, and then I'm getting leads from my ads, the ads I'm running. I'm getting leads, and I need to get all those details somewhere. How do I do it? I just use a Zapier. You can use there are other automation tools out there also. But if you want to use Zapier, you can use Zapier, connect your Facebook to probably a spreadsheet because you want all the leads that is being generated on your Facebook ads to be on that spreadsheet. So automatically, immediately leads are being generated on the Facebook lead. It automatically shows on your spreadsheet. So you don't need to start doing it manually again. That's how automation works. So now for automation, you can decide to start from the scratch, right? So this is where it starts from scratch. Firstly, you can create a Zap. Zap is basically how you want the automation to be. You can either use table, automated data. There are different ways and different ones you want to go through. And if you want a canvas, you can also start with that. Just to give it like a blank board, then you start creating. So we have several templates under here. You see popular templates. You have, if you want to connect your Gmail to your Google Sheets. If you want to connect your Zapier to your, you want to connect your Zapier to like your Google Sheet also. There are a lot. So if you want to see more of them, you just click on browse all templates. You see other templates here that can be used. But that's not what I want to show us today. I don't want us to start creating from scratch. I don't want us to create from scratch. What do we do? Right? I want us to use AI. I want to show us how AI has made it easier for us. So now what I want to create for is the first example I gave before. There's a restaurant, right? And what they do is they get reservations from online. People come to use their space after reserving. And after doing that, they get a feedback form after they are done. You send the feedback form to them and tell them to fill how was their experience and all. Right? It's not too much. You don't need much from them. You just need their name, you just need their email, and then feedback from them. How was their experience? Right? You do that. So now I created a form for that. I'll show us as we go on. But first, I want to do is want to write a prompt that will help us connect that feedback form, because of we want them to get immediately they send the feedback form. We want an automated message to be sent to them immediately. Immediately, right? That is why we come here to automate it. So what we are going to be connecting is what we are going to be connecting the feedback form, the Google form, with the Gmail, so that immediately a feedback form is sent, they automatically get that thank you notification. Is that good? So now, how do we do it? We'll write a prompt. When someone submits a response in Google Form, comma, send them a thank you. Send them a thank you via Gmail, or send them a thank you mail via Gmail. Thank you mail via what? Gmail. Now, this is the prompt we want to do. Now, the next thing we'll do is what? Would click on send and start thinking. Telling us, well, what are the tools? What tools are we going to be connecting together to help us get through this? Right? So we'll give it a minute to think. You see, it's already giving us solutions. So at the end of the day, it tells us, oh, continue with Zap Editor. It automatically gives us the place. You see it listing the assets that is needed, Google Form to Gmail, thank you mail, and all that. Everything has been listed. Next thing I want to do is continue with Zap Editor. So it takes me to the Zap Editor to show me what's needed. So this is the Zap Editor, whereby if you want to create from scratch, you come here and start getting everything yourself. Right? But now it's helping us do that already. So we don't need to do all this by ourselves again. So you see, it automatically gets the form for us. Oh, this is where we'll put the form. And then the next thing is still coming up. It's going to give us, since it's going to be connecting two things together, it's going to be connecting the Google form and then the Google email. Now it has done that. That's given us the two applications that we're going to be connecting together. Right? Hope we got it to this extent. Now let's move on. We are behind schedule. So if you want to get more on how to run through this, don't worry, just take a course with us and then we'll walk you through from beginning to the end. You will learn every single step, including signing up from the scratch. You also learn that. Now that we have gotten here, we'll need to do some setting up, obviously, right? So the first thing we need to do is set up our Google form. But I think it's still loading. Let's give it a minute. I think it's still loading. Okay, I think it's still loading. So probably give it a couple. So you see it here, updating the Zap step. All right, so it's updated. Zap steps updated. Right. So now the next thing we want to do is we'll click on the Google form. When we click on Google form, what do we have first? We'll have this setup page. We'll have setup page like this, and then it will ask us what do we want to. It's already putting it here already, Google form. And this first one is always called what? It's called the trigger. The first part here is always called the trigger because of it is the one that will trigger this next one to happen. So when the up one is basically fulfilled, the condition for the up one is fulfilled, the next one is going to be happening. So now how do we go about it? You see it here, trigger, Then you continue. So it gives us two options. Update from. So can decide to pick the up one. The up one said new form response or trigger when form response is added. So it's either we pick for the people that wants to fill at the moment, or for those forms that has already been submitted. For the forms that has already been submitted, they'll still get this notification again. So that's what this option is for. The first one is for immediately only people that after this prompt has been set, after this zap has been set, they should get the notification. That's what this one is for. So we can decide to pick one, and then we can decide anyone goes anyhow you want it. So the next thing you want to do is you select your account, because I've put in an account before. It's already putting it here for me. So select an account. You see my name here, moses@analytics.org. Then I connect it. And if I don't want to use this again, I can decide to connect a new account to that. I can decide to connect a new account. So after doing that, the next thing I want to do is what? I'll click on continue. If I click on continue, you see that the setup has been clicked. It has been checked. Moving to the configure. Now for the configure, all I need to do is click here. It will tell me to pick a form from my Google Drive because I've already connected my email to it. So it has access to my Google Drive. So it will ask me, it will bring out a form. You see it, Copilot suggestion. It suggests the different forms that are in my Google Drive. So I'll show you the form I've already created for this. So here's the form. Here is what the form looks like. So here's what the form looks like. We have the customer feedback. We have name. We have your name. We have your email. We have your feedback. These are the things we have, right? So probably I'll just send it to anyone if you guys want to fill it. Probably if you want to receive an email after this. So anyone that just wants to fill that, let's use that as an experiment. So now let's go on. I'll show you the form that we're going to be using, the customer feedback. So back to this place. So you see in my Copilot already, suggestion, customer feedback. I have other forms, but I'll just go with this. Click on here. So let's go a bit faster. And then it will ask me trigger question. What kind of questions do I want to pick? What are the trigger questions I want to pick? If it is my name or so on. So I can decide to pick what is your name? So I'll pick what is your name. So, but this one is not basically compulsory, right? It's not for the email and all. So now let's just clear selection and then continue. Let's continue without the trigger question. So the next thing I want to do is want to test if this works. So you see that everything at the top has been ticked. So we are good to go. So now the next thing we want to do is we'll go to our Gmail. We've set the Google form. Everything is good. The next thing is our Gmail. So we'll click on the Gmail and then we'll have the first one. Our Gmail is already here because that's what we are using, the application we're using. The next thing we want to do is what? Come to event. We already have it as send email. There's no need to change that. The next one is your account. Immediately, you've already linked it to the first one. It will still be the same thing that's going to show here. So you click on continue. When you click on continue, it takes you to the next place, which is what? How your email looks like. If you want to send an email, this is basically what it shows you, right? This is how it shows you. The first thing you will have is to. That means who do you want to send it to? The second one is what? The from. Who is it from? You see the to at the top here. The to, that's what you're going to be filling. That means who do we want to send it to? The next one is what? From. who is it coming from, and then we have the subject. We'll also put the subject here, and then finally we'll have the body. We'll have the body here. So now let's get right into the tool. So for the first part, you know that for the tool simply means, oh, the people I want them to receive. But now I don't just want it to be one person. I want it to be anybody that's filling this form. So what do? I simply click on this flash. You see the warning already there. To bring out the dynamic values, you click on the slash on your keyboard, and then that pops up. So you see it here, slash for field mapping. So you click on the slash, it brings up options for you. So now what do we want to do? We want their emails, right? We want their emails because of that is what we want. That's what we are going to be sending to. So all we need to do is come down to respondent email. I will click. Oh, I see some people already filling it. That's good. Respondent email, and then we click there. Okay, so we go to, we have a couple of questions. Okay, what is your email? You see it here. I'm taking it to the actual question that is asked. What is your email? So I'll just remove one of them. So we'll have this. So now it's going to be sending it to the respondents, the people that are actually on it already. So after that, we move to what? This one is just saying send message to go. This one is not important. We move to what? The from. Who is it from? Moses. So I'll just put in my email here. And then after that, I'll go down to what? The subject. What do I want the subject to be? Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for your feedback. Nice. So I have this. So I have this for this. Okay. So after that, I move to the next one, which is the body. I click on the body. I take all this off. I take all this off. And then now what do I want to do? I want to type the message I want them to receive. So how do I do that? I'll click on hi. And I also want their names to show. I want the name of the person to show. So I'll just do hi, then slash. Don't forget what the slash is for. And then I'll go down and pick the name. What is your name? So pick the name. What is your name? Felix. So now after that, I'll put a comma and I'll type, we appreciate your feedback. And then I'll send it. After that, what do I do next? I want them to also see the feedback that they sent. So how do I do that? I'll put a slash again, and then I'll scroll down to where I have what is your feedback. Click there. So now we have the name, and then they'll be able to see their feedback. So with that, we're done here. I'll just click on continue. So for the continue, you see it will show us how it looks like. The tool is to this person. Subject is thanks for your feedback. And then the body is hi, Felix. You see it here. Hi, Felix. We appreciate your feedback and so on. Then I'll click on test step. I'll click on it. Immediately I click on it, it shows like the sent. So everyone that has done this would see it, especially Felix would get it. So the next thing I need to do is what? You see it at the top here that said your Zap is ready. So all I need to do is what? Publish it. So if you've gotten an email, let me know. Use the thumbs up if you've gotten an email. Felix, did you get an email? Probably they're not here. So I also got an email here. All right, now let's go on. Let's go on while we wait for others. So now the next thing I want to show us is now this, right? The next thing is in situations whereby you just want it to be their name. It's probably people that put their two names and you just want it to have just their first name there. What do? That's where we want to personalize it a bit more. Before we use their names, now we want to personalize it a bit further by adding their extra, like using their first name instead. So for people that are putting two names, it will just pick just your first name and then send you the mail. So how do we do that? You will come back to your edit, click on your edit zap. You click on your edit zap, it loads up. Give it a moment to load up. Finally, it comes up like this. You see it. The next thing we want to do is add form that only picks just your first. How come to the of the Google form because of the first one is always going to be the Google form, and the last one is going to be the message that's supposed to be sent. So it's going to be in the middle of it. And we're going to be using is called the formatter. This formatter is going to help us split the names. Click on when we click on it, it opens up. You see it like this, comes up. And then the next thing you want to do is what? You want to click on events and then you pick text. When you pick the text, the next thing you want to do is what? Click on continue because of it's majorly text we're working on. We're not working on dates. We're not working on numbers. Because of it's the name and names are in text. So text, that's why we'll go for text. So we'll click on the continue. After clicking on continue, we need to pick what? We need to pick what we want to do. What do we want to do? What do we want to transform? Right? What we want to do is split the names into two. So go scroll down until we see splits. Until we see split. So you see here, split text. So you click there, and then it tell you to insert an input. What do you want to split? So you click on slash and then go to the name. The name. Your name. And then separator. It will ask you what separator, what do you want to use as the separator? So one thing you should know is you read the character at the top. It says the ideal separator is, or the default separator is just a space. So as long as we put in a space between the first name and the second name, it's automatically going to separate it for us. So it's automatically going to separate it for us. So we can go on that. All these are good to go. The next thing we want to do is click on continue. So it seems like Felix just put in one name. That is why it's just showing one name. Had it been Felix put in two names, it's just going to pick the two of them and then be showing that. But for now, it's just one name here. So let's just do the test and then see the output. The output now is Felix. The input was Felix, and had it been the person put his surname, it would have just taken the last one out and just remained Felix. So now for all other people that actually put in two names, it would be just one name that is there. Now we've done this. We've done this here. The next thing we want to do is what? We want to apply it to the Gmail. It has not been applied yet. So we want Gmail. So we'll click on the Gmail and then we'll come to configure because everything is under configure, right? So we'll scroll down to our body because of that's where our this thing is. and then we'll remove this part that said, what is your name? Because we don't want the full name again. We want the person's name, the unique identifier. We want to personalize it. So it will call it like your name. So we'll just put in the slash, and then we'll pick the one we just did now, the dynamic value we just created, which is what? Format text in formatter by Zapier. So when you click on it, you see other options. You see output, and then you see output Felix. So you just pick one of the outputs. So this one is step output, but we want to go for the output. We are more concerned about that. So we'll pick for the output. And then anybody that this message is going to will automatically receive a message with just their first name there. So now just click on continue. Immediately you click on continue. It takes you to publish. It gives you how it looks like, plain text and all. It gives you how it looks like, and then you click on text. So after that, it's published it. So if you have any questions so far, just put it in the chat. Someone said my screen is not coming up. My network is cracking. I can see. If you're not seeing it, it could be on it. Okay, so I don't think it's from my end. All right. Felix said I'm good. All right, let's go on. Let's go on. So after that, the next thing we want to do is what? We want to automate it. We want to automate it. Now, what do we do? We've actually done the first part, which is let's desktop sharing. Oh, I think I closed the slide instead. Minutes. All right. Don't worry, it's still here. Yeah, it's still here. You guys can see the screen now, right? All right. So now let's go on. Okay, good. Let's go on. So now we have this, right? The next thing we want to do is we want the message to be unique to everybody. And now we've made it in such a way that, oh, everyone gets their mail, right? We want it to be unique to everybody. So what do? So let's just publish this. Let's just publish it. So the next thing we want to do is we want it to be in such a way that the AI will be the one generating the email it's going to be sending to everybody. The AI is going to be doing that. So now how do we do that? We come down here, come to our edit bar. So don't forget, the first thing we did was we first of all did a normal automation, right? Using the full name. After that, we decided to make it a bit personal, a bit unique by calling you with your first name. Now, the next thing we want to do is what? We want it to be in such a way that an AI will be the one generating the replies, the response that it's going to be sending to each and every one differently. So now all we need to do is click on the plus sign here, and then you see AI Zapier. So clicking there, the next thing you see is you see other templates. You see it here. It has already created this for you. All you need to do is start filling this. So you see the first part, input field. What are the things you want it to take note of when it's working? The first thing I want you to take note of is, I want you to take note of customers' feedback. So customer feedback. And then I'll come here and then attach the dynamic value for customer feedback here. So I'll go to customers feedback. So click here. What is your feedback? So I'll just pick just one. So customers feedback, just one. I just put that here. The next one I want to add, the other field I'll add is what? Customer's first name. Don't forget, we want it to be unique to everyone. So customer's first name. After that, you click here, put on the slash, and then come to our dynamic value we created for the first name, which is under this text informator by Zapier. So come there and then pick your output again. So pick it, we already have it here. Output is this, and then okay, that's two. We now have two input field. The next thing we'll have is what? We want to add the last one, which is email response. So email. So since we want it to be unique to everyone, we're going to add the last option, which is email response. Email response. Right? And then we'll put the same thing here. And then we'll go down and then pick what's your email. What is your email address? So after doing that, we click on continue. Now we have everything sorted, everything we need. Now the next thing we want to do is what? Add the prompt we want to do. What do we want it to do for us? So I'll just get it from where I typed it. I typed it somewhere already, what I want it to do. So to make it a bit faster, so I need to just put in this. So I'd like to read the customer's feedback and then respond via mail to the feedback. That's the first part. I would like to address the customer by their first name and then give my response. That is what I want it to do. So you see, I've already detailed everything here. So after doing this, the next thing I want to do is what? I'll just click on generate preview. So you give it a minute to load up, and then you see it automatically creates a message that is going to be sending to everyone, a unique message. So now the first message is what you see it here. Dear Felix, thank you for your positive feedback. We are glad to hear that you found the training beneficial. Your insights are invaluable to us as we strive to improve and provide the best experience possible. If you have any further comments or suggestion, feel free to reach out. We appreciate your support. You see it here, everything has been here. So best regard. All this can also be removed with AI. All you need to do is add it to your prompt. But let's just make use of it as our time is almost fast spent. So we'll have a few more minutes. So the next thing I want to do is what? Want to click on finish. So after clicking on finish, we are done with that. The next thing we need to do is now we've created this prompt now exists. We've now created a dynamic value on AI that will help us reply. Now we need to integrate it inside our Gmail. So all you need to do is click on your Gmail, come to configure, and then come here that we have our feedback, our body. Instead of having everything typed here by ourselves, right? We want to use this one that the AI is going to be generating. And how do we do that? We simply use the slash button we've been using before to bring up our dynamic values. And this tab is what is called the dynamic values. You see it at the top here, dynamic. So the dynamic values, and then we'll go down to the one that we created, which is what? To analyze and return data in AI. So that's what we're going to be picking. So we'll click on it, and then we'll pick the outputs. That's what we are concerned about, the outputs. So click on the output, and then the next thing you want to do is you click on continue. After continuing it, it will bring out test step for you, a message, same thing that I gave up before, and all you need to do is click on test step, and it automatically sends this email out. And after that, you click on publish, and then you publish it. Takes a minute, and then it loads up. So Felix, you've gotten the mail, right? Felix, did you get the mail? I don't know if you can still hear me. Okay, she said yes. She said it in the chat, yes. So that is basically, so anyone that fills in the form, okay, Favor also did, that's great. So that's basically how to automate. So there are several things you can also do in this place. There are so many. You can link it, you can connect two other apps, Facebook with Google Form, you can connect it to as many apps, Trello, you can connect it to Jira and so on. You can connect it to your Notion also. So there are so many things you can do on it, right? So all you need to do is take that bold step, right? And then see how you can get into this AI before it gets too saturated. So that's it. And now, what I know, what will be in everyone's mind is, how do I get a job? How do I get a job using this? How do I navigate this path? Right? And that is where I'll leave it to my colleague to basically continue on how to go about it if you are ready to start your career in this AI space. Hello, Treasure. You can go on.
All right, fantastic stuff, Moses. I would like to see a lot of reactions. Moses did an amazing job. So please just, give the best reaction. Thank you so much, Favor. If you followed him up to this point, thank you, Medina, Brenda, Taiwo. Thank you so much, guys. That's fantastic. Okay. Can you also drop one important thing that you learned from today's session? I want to give our facilitator his honors. Just drop one important thing. We have over 29 people on this call that you learned from this session. All right, let's go on, Emmanuel. I'm going to make you a call so you can unmute your mic and speak. Yes, Emmanuel, let's have you. Hi, Emmanuel, are you there? All right, if you don't want to speak, you can also drop it in the chat. One important thing you learned from today's session. I want to make sure that everyone follow through to this very point. So just drop that in the chat. What is one important thing you learned from today's session? Let's have it, 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 guys. Sydney, Favor, okay. Oremata Ede said animation. Ngozi Ugonna said she has seen her meal, so fantastic. I want to get a lot more reaction. 30 people on the call and only 2 people are responding. Or were you guys not paying attention? You allowed it to be playing in the background and you were busy. Let's get the reaction in terms of what you basically learned from today's session. So what have you learned? Let's have it, guys. I need more responses. 1 billion responses on the call right about now. Before we get into, oh, how can I get a job with AI? I want to see what you've actually learned. Let's see if, you should be on our candidacy level for placements. Let's get it, guys. Oh, nobody learned anything. Or Moses just used the last 1 hour to speak and no, it wasn't any major impact, guys. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. So someone said, oh, to send automated messages. Fantastic. Well done. Brenda said, AI is not about human versus machine. It is about how human can work with machines. Fantastic. And that is the basis of what AI should be right now. AI is not replacing humans. Humans and AI are looking to collaborate, and that's what we want to achieve. Okay, Triumph said that is actually smart. I'm hoping to be able to apply it at work. Yes, so once we're done with the session, if you fill the attendance form, you have access to the recording, you have access to the resources, you can go through it and practicalize, with the activities that you're going to be doing at work. So I'm just going to, okay, let's take Ngozi. Ngozi's mentioned that she learned about the name of the tool. It's called Zapier and the steps involved in automation. And just so you know, this is one in a million AI tools that we currently have ongoing and you can use to automate your workflow. So I'm going to go ahead to share my screen so we can talk about, the jobs, the potential packages, and how you can be able to join this group of people that have landed roles across the world to be in the new cadre of individuals that are called AI automation specialists. I myself I am an AI project manager. So let's get it. If you can see my screen, please give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up, guys. I need the energy in the room to be a lot higher. Let's see if you can see my screen. Give me a thumbs up. All right, Medina, thank you so much. Ngozi, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we get into jobs, just giving you some insights into some of our success stories. Because, like I mentioned, Tenalytics business is an offshoot of Tenalytics, and we've done quite a lot in the tech space, helping people land jobs here in Africa, here in Nigeria. You're landing a role in the UK, US, Canada. You are an African in the UK, and you are able to land roles. These are the different things I'm going to be showing you. So these are the array of individuals that we've had so far, and so many more. So if you go on YouTube, you can check Tenalytics and Tenalytics business. And you know the fantastic thing about all this, majority of them were nothing in tech. Like, they had no career in tech. They were either care workers, pharmacists, nurses, nursing mothers, different individuals, and they got started in tech, and now they are earning in foreign currencies. Okay, you have people that are able to transition to business analysis, and now she's a business analyst in Edmonton, Canada. That's for Abigail. You have Tony, who now works in NHS in the UK, and she got a full visa sponsorship. We also have Benga, who is in Poland, and after searching for jobs for over 2 years, he took our courses and he was able to get a business data analyst role. You have Nathaniel, data scientist. Abdurrashid, while he was still in Nigeria, like yourself and myself, he's currently working for a company in the US. And I'm very sure that 80% of the people left on this call, that is our desired goal. You want to start earning that money in dollars, in euros, in pounds. Now is the time, because data analytics is no longer as fresh as it used to be, because there are things that's been added. That's where AI come into it. So if you are a data analyst, how can you be an AI data analyst? So that brings me to the very next slide. So talking about the very next slide, what are two important things that employers are looking when it comes to yourself? And these two important things specifically are your skills and then your experience. So now you'd ask me, oh, I'm an AI, or I'm planning on being an AI automation specialist. How am I going to get the skills? How am I going to get the experience? For the skills, what you need to do is take courses, go through videos, start small. Start where you are. And people would have said it, overflog the statement, but that's pretty much the only way to make it go. Okay, so you need to start where you are. You need to learn the courses, you need to learn the terminologies, you need to learn the language. And once you have the skills, you have the very basis of what you need to build on, like your foundation, then you move over to getting your experience. And how do you get experience? You wonder, I'm an AI specialist, how am I going to be working on different workflows? You can do personal projects. See, in this life, what you need to learn is packaging. Packaging is one very, very important skill you need to know how to have. You need to package yourself. If you're working on a personal project, creating dashboard, and you are building in public, it just gives you the avenue to showcase your skill on a different level. Okay, it's no longer, oh, I read how to use anything to build a workflow. This is me building end to end how to review CV in less than 5 minutes with anything. I do a video, I post it on LinkedIn, and people can see that it's not just me learning anymore. It's me now practicalizing what I've learned. And this is what piques interest of recruiters very quickly. So building your portfolio is super, super important. And that's what you need to be doing right after you've gained the skills. So that's another important thing for AI automation, because right now it's still fresh. A lot of people are saying AI, AI. Every day you hear AI, AI. It's in Microsoft Copilot. It's in Google Gemini. It's everybody infuse AI one way or the other. So it's important for you to just join that wagon as quickly as possible. In real estate, one important thing they say is, you need to follow where there is, promising land, so to say, and then you start building immediately before people get there. So that is the same thing that applies to AI and AI automation. Okay, so that's what we really need to start focusing on when it comes to AI. And then next thing you mention is, I've basically gone through this end to end. So if you want to get a job, it has to follow this pattern. Okay, you need to learn, then you package your skills. And if you package, you don't just package and wait for a miracle to happen to you. You start to apply. So now let's take it step by step. What are we learning? So based off the World Economic Forum, there's a report for 2025 that the top 3 major skills that are really booming, or the top 8, you can see them highlighted here. You have data, you have AI, prompting, social influence, network and cyber, financial analytics, leadership, and creative thinking. So these are the top skills that you currently have ongoing if you really want to get a high paying role. So you need to pick one of them. Okay. Is it data you want to go for? Is it AI? Is it social influence? Social influence, like how do you build it in public, so to say? Okay. When it comes to cybersecurity, networking, this is hot kick. When are you going to start picking either of those skills? Okay. And once you've decided your niche and you've learned, now are you employable? It's one thing to have skills, but can you do the work? Is it just cha? Can you do the work? And that's when it comes to packaging. Okay. So once you have that, you now need to revamp your CV. Okay. Revamping your CV, if you're working on personal projects, if you're volunteering, if you're doing all that, that's part of the employability aspect. You need to go to your LinkedIn profile. You need to update it to align. If I'm looking for a project manager as a recruiter, if I type the keyword project manager, will your name pop up? How is your profile structured? People think that LinkedIn is just, people going to make noise. I post 3 times a week and I have my reasons. And I know how many recruiters reach out to me on a monthly basis. Okay. So it's very, very important. See, it's not easy to be disciplined with this thing, but you just have to do it. It's the only way to build, because you have to be in public. You have to continuously show up day in, day out. And that's the only way you're going to make headway. So apart from having your LinkedIn optimized, another thing now is portfolio. How many projects have you worked on? As a project manager, how many have you worked on? As a data analyst, how many have you worked on? As an AI automation workflow specialist, how many projects have you worked on? You need to have a portfolio. And these are some of the things we'll be teaching you when you take our programs. Then you get mentorship from people that has already gone before you to learn, and you apply that. Okay, it's easier to stand on the shoulders of people that have already gone before you, because you don't get to make the same mistakes as they did, and just make things flow for you better. Then when it comes to interview prep, you reach out to your facilitators, your mentors, to guide you on how to respond to specific questions, and you get references. Because after you finally get a job role, they ask you to bring 2 or 3 references, and you really need to get credible people to get that particular job. I remember when I was applying for a role in Canada and I was asked to bring 3 references. I brought from the CEO of 2 of the companies that I previously worked with, and I brought from like a role, like a pair, to apply to that particular role. And they called all of them. So it's good to always keep good rapport with people, because things like this, goes a long way in the future. So now apply. When it comes to application, a lot of people would say, oh, just keep applying every day. Applying, one day something will happen. That's not how the dynamics work. Okay, when it comes to application, you need to be very strategic about your application process. So how do you apply? If I'm looking for AI automation roles, trust me, there are different variations of names it's going to take. You're going to have workflow specialists, you're going to have AI engineering, AI personnel, AI project manager, AI automation specialist. It could come in different variation. So I need to narrow down what various formats it comes in and start to apply. Okay, the more niche the role, the more better you get a chance of responses. Okay, so you need to tailor every resume. You don't have a one-size-fits-all resume. Okay, even if it's a project manager, data analyst, business analyst, they should take the one I have. It shouldn't be in that manner. You should learn to tailor your resume to the specific job role that you're applying for, and that's the best way you can get a job as soon as possible. So once you apply, don't stop and say that's it. Reach out to people in the organization. When I apply, I reach out to the CEO, you reach out to the CFO, you reach out to people in C-suite, you reach out to peers, and you're not reaching out to say, oh, I apply for this role. You need to provide value. Look for something that the organization is having as a problem, and have a value-added document. That's a very strong way of getting any role, because right now, you're coming from a consultant angle rather than, oh, I just need a job. Because people don't like pestering them. But if you come with value, they would give you more consideration. I want to listen to what you have to say. So these are very key aspects that you need to look at. And if you do this consistently, in the next 6 to 8 weeks, you most likely will be on your way to getting that dream job. And this applies whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in the UK, Africa, you're looking for roles within Nigeria or across the world. That's a technique that I've used and that works for me very well. And if you go to my LinkedIn, you can attest to that. And that's something that would also do very, very well for you as well. So AI automation, a lot of people ask me, okay, if I take a course, what's next? What's the next step? There are a lot of new, fresh roles. Even in marketing, you see someone asking for a marketing AI manager, an AI marketing manager. They want to see how well you can use AI, and you shouldn't be left out of that particular aspect. So these are some of the things you'll be working with. So now let's move on to the next slide. So when it comes to portfolio, these are some of the people that are taking our courses end to end. You have Victor. If you go to Victor Omoboye's page, you would see his portfolio. Okay, it's attached. You usually attach it to the featured section of your LinkedIn. And once you have that there, people can go through the different projects you worked on at specific time. You see Lemuel as well, okay? These are really strong people that are able to land roles because they did create a portfolio. People just look at it, oh, if I have my resume, that's it. If I update my LinkedIn, that's it. But where is the proof? Where is the proof that you've done the project you mentioned that you did? This is what is supposed to state that. So you need to create that portfolio for you to land any job in this new wave of, roles that are coming up. So how can I start? That's a lot of question. Because when I take clarity sessions for Tinnitus Business, people ask me, "Oh, I'm a nurse and I'm looking to get into tech. What do I need to do? Where should I start? That's the question. How do I start? How do I move from point A to point B?" And that's where we come in. Okay. So at the moment, we have our new cohort that is specifically for our AI series. So when I'm talking about AI series, I'm talking about AI automation, I'm talking about generative AI for data analysts, and I'm talking about, if you're a HR professional, generative AI for every HR professional. So you want to ask me, what are you going to be learning end to end? So if you're going to be taking our course in AI automation engineering, you're going to be learning key aspects. Okay, so another question I typically get is, oh, is it beginner friendly? I've not done anything AI. I don't know where to start. I can't make use of ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. So why am I going to AI? You need to start from somewhere, basically. So AI automation engineering is going to start from the beginning, the foundation, the very, very start. Okay. So you'll be learning about the different LLM tools. If you're a data scientist, you know what I'm talking about. You'll also be learning about the foundation of AI automation, prompt engineering. So if you go on ChatGPT itself, can you actually get it to give you your desired results? Okay. If someone says, I want a cat, and someone says, I want a dark colored cat, a dark colored fur cat with yellow eyes and a black pupil with four and so how do you describe, how do you prompt AI? So picture A and picture B will be totally different. And these are things you'll be learning in AI automation engineering, how to prompt properly. Even to prompt for even emails, you will prompt and prompt and prompt, but you will not still get your desired results. And that's a result of bad prompting. Because ChatGPT is garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you give to me, I'm going to give right back to you. So you need to learn how to prompt properly. And then you now start moving into a bit more advanced things like building LLM-powered apps, advanced AI automation, also how to build AI voice agents. And there are several tools you're going to be working with. As you see on my screen, you have Anyten, you have Flowise, you have Airtable, Zapier. You can see all the levels of tools you'll be making use of. Okay, and just to reiterate, this is going to be 4 weeks. A lot of people will ask me, oh, Treasure, is it possible to do this in 4 weeks? Absolutely. So when it comes to learning, it's two things. It's one thing for the facilitator to bring the energy, teach you, give you all the information, you do practicals. But if you're not determined and willing to learn, that's beyond the facilitator. Now that's on you. So if you are willing to put yourself, into that process as much as possible, you're going to benefit quite a lot from it. Okay. So basically you need to learn, you need to dedicate time and the energy to be able to get these skills. Because once you get these skills, AI automation engineering right now in the UK, in the US, is paying nothing less than $50,000 or 50,000 euros per year. And if you're converting that into Naira, that's a whole lot of money that you're going to be missing out on. So what would it cost you to put your head down in 1 month, you learn the skills, and you're good to go? So you'll be having the classes for 4 weeks. And for each week, you're going to be doing a practical. Whether you're learning how to build the AI voice agent or, you're building an AI system, you'll be learning that. And at the end, you're going to be creating your capstone project. So your capstone project, you're going to be presenting it to your facilitator. And then after your facilitator gives the specific information that you need, you are awarded your certificate. The good thing about 10 Analytics Business is we are accredited by the American Council of Training Institute. So this is a certificate you can use here in Nigeria, abroad, or wherever you are. And it's truly, truly beneficial to you, even if you're working in an organization or you want to learn this on your own. So this is just for AI automation engineering. I'm also going to go to the website directly where we have the training. So if you want to register for the program, this is where you're going to see a lot of the information. So like I mentioned at the start, the next cohort is November 8th to December 6th. Because we know a lot of you are working professionals, classes are strictly on the weekends. So Saturdays and Sundays. On Saturdays, your classes will be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And on Sundays, your classes will be 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And okay, let's move into pricing because that's the important thing. Everyone want to know how much it's cost. So the original price is 200,000 naira, but at the moment we're currently running a discount. It's 25% discount on the program, cutting it down to 150,000 naira. The good part is, if you're paying a discounted price, Treasure, I can't pay it, it's too much, you can pay in 2 installments. So, but you need to lock in the discounts as soon as possible because by Monday, we run out of discounts and the price goes back to normal. So, go ahead to lock in your discounts, 150,000 naira. You want to pay full payment or you want to pay part payment, you need to pay at least 50%, and that's 75,000 naira to start for AI automation engineer. So the next one we have is generative AI for data analysts and professionals. So this is for my data personnel, whether data scientists, data analysts, data engineer. If you are part of data ecosystem, or even if you are a novice beginner, you've not made use of Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, and you want to get into this field, this is the next one for you, okay? So right now, what would also be teaching you here, looking at the curriculum end-to-end, you start off with Foundation for Generative AI for Data Analyst, and then you'll be working with different specific automation tools, even in something as simple as Power BI, talking about Copilot, how to get assisted AI for your Excel and Power BI flows. And then Sunday, you're going to move into prompt engineering. So week 2, you have your AI automation for data analysts, the tools you'll be making use of. And then a special addition, Microsoft Fabric, because this is not something that is even taught for data analysts itself, but you'll be getting this additionally. And the most important aspect is how can you deploy and monetize your skills? These are another aspects that you'll be getting for this particular program. So it's going the same time, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. The discounted price is 100,000 naira, that's 50%. If you also want to lock in your discount, you can do that, pay the first 50K to lock in your discounts. And then, at the end of the program, you pay another 50K. And then finally, you have generative AI for HR analysts by HR people, human personnel, people officer, CHRO. If you want to do this for your team, whether AI automation or AI for data analysts, or even AI for yourself as a HR analyst, this is for you to understand attrition rates, to understand how well your employees are performing end to end, how to build reports. This is for you. So Foundation of Generative AI for HR Analyst, AI Automation for HR Workflow, the AI tools for every HR analyst, and then you'll be working on the application of AI for HRs, and then you finally do your capstone project. So this is also going for a 50% discount at 100,000 naira. And as you can see, if you scroll further down, we've worked with a huge number of companies, very notable ones like Kuda, InfraCredit, TGI, Kari, Mikano Motors, Health Insurance, Fairmoney, MTN, AfriInvest, a whole lot of people. So to tell you how accredited we are so far, If you go a little further, you see that we're certified by the American Council of Training and Development. And this is the certificate that you'll be getting at the end of your training. And yes, you can use it anywhere in the world, whether you're in Nigeria, Ghana, Europe, wherever. You can basically make use of this particular tool. So at this point, I don't want to bore us with so many information. Are there any questions? Does anyone have any questions in regard to the session that has just happened, or what I've been talking about so far? Are there any questions? You can either put it in the chat or you can use the raise hand icon. This would be a very good time to respond to your questions. Does anyone have any question? You can raise your hand or you can put it in the chat. Please don't be shy. It's very important for us to give you clarity right after the masterclass session. Does anyone have any questions? Please go ahead with your question. You can type it in the chat or you can raise your hand. Are we still here? If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. Let's start off with that. Okay, thank you, Triumph. So is the only Triumph that is here? Okay, so Ayadeji's question, is the class physical or online? So being a tech forward company, our classes are 100% virtual. So just like I am having a conversation with you, explaining, sharing my screen, the class is recorded or this session is recorded. In the same vein, that's how your actual class is going to be like. It's going to follow the same set of principles. So if peradventure you miss any of the classes, you have access to the recording. You also have access to the Google Classroom, have access to the LMS, have access to all the resources that we'll be sharing, so that, peradventure you can't join class at any point. You can always get updated on the specific information that you need. Ayadeji, I hope that clarifies. You can give me a thumbs up or, put in the chat. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Are there any other questions? Please, questions, guys. Chima, thumbs up. I don't know if that means you are good or you have a question. You can use the raise hand icon if you want to speak, or you can also put in the chat. Okay. I missed the most important action. All right. Let me get back into my screen so that I can share that. So I've gone over this. So making payments, if you want to register, I'm also going to put this in the chat. To register, okay, I think my colleague has done that. To register, there's a link to this open program page that I was sharing. So if you want to register for any program, even if it's AI automation, you come here, you see where it says view curriculum, scroll all the way down, the account details is stated here. So I'm just going to leave this page so that you can screenshot, take note of the information. So you pay into this account details. Once you've done that, the next thing is for you to click register now. Once you click register now, it's going to take you to a form where you fill in the details for the program. So for filling in details, your emails, your full name, email address, phone number, job title, you fill all the specific details so that we know that your payment has been made. And then, that's pretty much the process end to end. But if you have any questions, you can also reach out to me specifically. This is my email address and this is my phone number. For whatever questions that you have for me to clarify. Could be on the course, it could be on a training, whatever question you need, and then I would get right to it. Brenda, I hope that clarifies. Okay, are there any other questions? Please use the raise hand icon. If you have a question, use the raise hand icon or drop it in the chat. Okay, Brenda is good. Does anyone else have any other question? So we have Sydney. I've not heard from Sydney. Who is here again? Sydney, Adeleke Folami, Chiamaka, Chima, Lakunle, Miriam, Medina, Olufemi, Onurode, Samson, Samuel, Tyro. Do you guys have any question? Is it clear? Am I seeing you guys in our next set of program? Because I need to get feedback, people. Timothy. So Tyro, are you thumbs up that you're going to make payments or you have a question? I want to know what's the thumbs up for. Tyro, let me make you call so you can speak. I want to hear from you. Hi, Tyro. Are you there? Tyro.
Hello, Treasure.
Hi, Tyro.
Yeah, good evening. So it's been a wonderful session with you guys today. So,
Thank
and
you.
yeah, you will see me. I would subscribe to one of your programs. Yeah, you will
Okay.
see me soon.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, Tyra. So when should we be expecting your, you should just, press the details and make payments so that we can keep your slots as soon as possible. But when are you looking to get that done?
Yeah, hopefully, before weekend, I would do something. You'll hear from me.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Tyro. So for 23 people to stay to 9:30 since 8 p.m. You guys are interested. Okay, Chima, as a beginner, which course is best for me? That is a fantastic question. I get that 101 times. So now, Chima, if you don't mind, I'm gonna make you co-host so that I can also hear from you and I can get a clear understanding of certain questions that I'm going to ask you. So Chima, specifically, what do you? I don't know if this is, or anyways, I'm gonna drop my number in the chat so that you can reach out to me because I don't know if this is appropriate to actually hear because I need questions like what are you currently doing, what are your interests, what are you looking to gain from the session and things like that. So it might be a session that you need to ask me question privately, so you can send me a message on WhatsApp and we can pick up the conversation. But like I've reiterated, all courses, I don't think HR analytics would work for you if you've not done anything HR related. But AI automation, generative AI for data analysts, AI automation specifically works in whatever industry because all industry makes use of AI. I had someone that was a cinematographer during my clarity session. I was asking me, oh, Treasure, how do I implement AI into cinematography? There's pre-production, there's production itself and post-production, and AI plays a part in each of these aspects, in scripting, in filming, and then when you start editing the videos, color grading, whatnot. AI plays a very strong aspect end to end. And this is for cinematography, where you really think that, oh, I'm not going to make use of so much AI. So in every profession, AI automation works for it. But generative AI for data analysis, specifically for individuals in the data ecosystem, and then generative AI for HR is for individuals, specifically for HR profession. So Chima, I've been able to give you a bit of clarity, but you can also reach out to me if you want further clarification on that. So I'm still waiting, guys. Questions, please. We have up to 10 o'clock, so 15 minutes. Or I want to end this latest by, let's give it till 9:40. So if you have any specific question on the programs, on maybe a career process, or even if you're HR here and you're looking to get a customized training, it might not be generative AI. You want us to come and train your entire staff on how to automate their workflow end to end. Please, send me a message or you can send me an email, whatever works for you. And even if it's not AI specific, if it's data or tech specific, it could be soft skill, leadership, we're very much available to take trainings in that regard. But I'm still waiting for your questions. Sydney, I can see you right on my screen. Sydney, Temitope, I know Timothy has taken our program. Tryon, Victor, Aruna, if you have any questions, please just drop it in the chat. Oh, I'm an electrician, but I just feel like diversifying my skill. Fantastic. So as an electrician, you've basically been working end to end with how to improve processes on electricity, making use of specific tools and things like that. But that's a different niche entirely. And if you're coming right down into tech, okay, without having any prior knowledge, I would recommend AI automation as the best working path for you because for this you'll be learning the foundation of AI, and AI automation in itself is also the fastest rising job at the moment because a lot of people are hearing about it, but have not started getting used to the skill. Okay, and there are a lot of AI tools. So there's something I was mentioning to one of my the participant that joined my session. I was telling him that even at an analytics business, we have a WhatsApp chatbot that we monetize. And guess what it does? Okay, it tags people. If you are in any of our group, you see that it can tag everyone. It can send personal DMs to these people. It can send files. It can schedule message. We are way ahead WhatsApp at this point, okay? Because I have been begging WhatsApp to be able to schedule messages, but I have not been able to. But this is something that we can do, and this is something that we sell. So it's no longer even us selling AI automation itself, selling the skill itself, is selling the products. Okay, Chima, the price for AI automation skill is 150,000 naira discounted price, and the discount is up till on Monday. So you can either make full payments or you can pay in 2 tranches or 2 installments. But you need to pay at least 50% to get started. So you need to pay at least 75,000 naira to get started for AI automation. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Chima. If you have any other question, you can put it in the chat. Hi Chima, you good? You can give me a thumbs up or write a yes or unmute and speak, whatever works for you. Okay, fantastic. Does any other person have any questions? Sydney, Triumph, you were giving me a lot of thumbs up, but I've not heard from you on the call. Temi Tokwe, Samuel, Onuyode, Olufemi, Medina. Hi Medina, we've not heard from you. Miriam, Lakunle, Shamaka, Folami. Okay, so I don't see any other questions coming into the chat. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's session. I really do appreciate you staying up until this point. I know it's been quite an eventful and interesting evening. Looking forward to seeing you in the classes. Register for the classes as soon as possible so that we can give you access to your LMS and you can start watching these videos as soon as possible. And then you start to learn. Sydney, you are clapping. I have been calling you since. Now you are clapping. But thank you so much, everyone. It was a pleasure anchoring this session. Looking forward to having you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you, everyone.